Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's a little bit different. It's very old and it's not quite the same as the story that you remember. But what we are looking at today is a 1968 release by Collins from their Chitty Chitty Bang Bang tie-in series of books. And this particular one we're looking at today is entitled Meet Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and although it's kind of based on the 1968 movie, or highly popular movie I should say, which starred Dick Van Dyke, Sally Ann Howes, Lionel Jeffries, Gert Frobe, Anna Quayle, even with appearances with Benny Hill, James Robertson, and so on. It's a slightly different twist on the story. So the story we all know and love from the movie, yes, it's kind of based on that, and you've got the images of those characters on the pictures, but the story is a little bit different. Anyway, I've digressed. Let's look at the front of this book, and this is it. It says Meet Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and there you can see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang flying through the air with Caractacus, Potts, Jeremy and Jemima at the back, and Truly Scrumptious sitting next to Caractacus. Okay, that's the front of the book. Let's just turn it over to the back. And what we got on the back is the Potts house and windmill. And it's very, very similar to as it appeared in the movie. Okay, incidentally, this is quite a large book. So I just want to show you the size of this book. Because it is bigger than your normal A4 size annual. So this is, what are we looking at there? We're looking at 32 centimetres, or just under 13 inches in height. And we're looking at 9.5 inches, or 24 centimetres in width. So it's a bigger book than your standard annuals and so on. Okay, that's the outside. Let's just have a look at the spline, see what it says on the spline, if you can see that. We'll just zoom out a little bit. And it says Meet Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and you've got the Collins mark at the end there. Okay, let's open her up and let's have a look inside. Okay, so I have opened the first page, and this is the inside the front cover, and you can see it's the stretch of the road or mud on the way up to the Caractacus Potts workshop. And there's the windmill where they live in the background. It says Caractacus Potts Adventure, Ingenious Devices of All Types. Okay, that's the opening pages. And if we turn it over to the first page, and there again we can see Truly, Jeremy and Jemima and Caractacus about to go on their picnic in the wonderful rebuilt Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay, and it says, Meet Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the wonderful magical car, adapted by Al Perkins from the screenplay based on the Ian Fleming story. And it's illustrated by John Hanna. And at the bottom it says, Collins, London and Glasgow, copyright 1968 by Warfield Productions Limited and Gilrose Productions Limited. All rights reserved under international and Pan-American copyright conventions, published in the United States by Random House Inc., New York, and simultaneously in Canada by Random House of Canada Limited in Toronto, published in Great Britain and the British Commonwealth, except Canada, by William Collins Son and Company Limited, printed and made in Great Britain. Okay, so let's move on to the story, and this starts pretty much the same way as the movie, where Jeremy and Jemima go to Coggins' garage and they play in the old banger Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which was once a racing car, a racing car that won a lot of races. It says the motor car had once been a famous racing car, but now it was just an old wreck, all rusty and covered with weeds. Its steering wheel was broken, its tyres were in shreds. Jeremy and Jemima didn't care. They loved the old car. Every afternoon they pretended to drive it all over the world. And it says, one day Jeremy and Jemima saw a strange man at the garage. He was offering Mr Coggins some money. Who is that? Asked Jemima. It's the scrap man, said Jeremy. I'm afraid he wants to buy our car from Mr Coggins. You're not going to let him take our wonderful car away, are you, Mr Coggins? Asked Jemima. I'm afraid I must, said Mr Coggins sadly. I need the money. Just a minute, cried Jemima. I have a splendid idea. We'll buy the car ourselves. We have our pocket money and our lunch money. We can pay you 5 shillings. That's fine with me, said Mr Coggins. And I'll give you 2 and 6pence to tow the car home, Jeremy said to the scrap man. All right, said the scrap man. Jump in. Gee up, said the scrap man to his horse, and he gave a tug at the reins. The old horse pulled the car out into the road. I don't see why you want an old wreck like this, said the old scrap man. Our father has a workshop in the barn, Jeremy explained. He can fix anything. He'll make this car look like new. So there we are. So in this particular book, or this particular story, Jeremy and Jemima bought the car with their pocket money, and they had it recovered all the way back to Caractacus Potts' workshop, and he spent the night rebuilding the car, and there it was. Jeremy and Jemima ran into the workshop. The old car looked brand new. Mr Potts had given her a coat of shiny paint. He had polished the windscreen and the wheels. He had even put on new headlamps and new tyres, and he had built a big new engine. How he got this stuff all overnight, I never know, but there we are. She's beautiful, said Jemima. Can we go for a ride, Daddy, asked Jeremy. Anywhere you like, said Mr Potts. Jump in. I'll bring my umbrella in case it rains, said Jemima. Mr Potts pressed the start button. The big engine shook and shivered and coughed and made a strange sound. It sounded like chitty chitty bang bang. Listen to that, said Jemima. That's what we call her. Chitty chitty bang bang. And Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was born. It's pretty much based on the same story. But with this one, they go off onto their picnic. So with a roar and Bang Bang, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang rushed out onto the main road. Let's go to the seashore, shouted Jeremy. We can have a picnic. And while they were zooming along, they saw a lady walking down the road. It's that nice lady, Truly Scrumptious, said Jemima. Let's take her with us. So they pick up Truly Scrumptious on the way. And off they go actually, let's read that bit, because this is where it gets a little bit different. Mr Potts stopped the car. We're going for a ride, Miss Scrumptious, he said. Would you like to join us? I'd love to, Trudy answered. She climbed into the car with Mr Potts and the children, and they drove off towards the beach. But suddenly, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang swerved off the road. She bounced across a field. I cannot control her, Mr Potts shouted. She's steering herself. Jemima and Truly Scrumptious screamed with fright. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was heading straight for the top of the cliff. She skidded along the edge of the rocky cliff, then she started falling straight down towards the ocean and the jagged rocks far below. Look out, shouted Mr Potts, we're going to crash. Mr Potts pulled at the steering wheel and he tugged at all the knobs and switches and levers on the dashboard. Suddenly, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang stopped falling. The engine made a swirling, grinding sound. The 4 wheels pulled themselves into the car. Out of sight, thin light strips of metal came out in the place. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was turning into a boat. So she leveled off and landed gently on the ocean. We're safe, said Jeremy. Well, that's where it's different. And now the evil Baron Bomburst that we see in the movie is not actually in Vulgaria. They don't actually go to Vulgaria. He's actually sailing his ship, and he sees the car transform into a boat, and he wants it. So they take off after it. However, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang turns into an aircraft and takes off. And he's now getting on the phone for his Zeppelin to come and attack the car so he can get his hands on the car. However, that all fails, and they pop the Zeppelin or the air balloon with the umbrella, and it bursts and goes into the water, and they leave the Baron Bomb in the lake or in the ocean with his sunken airship, and off they go back home. They fly over and they're all around where Truly Scrumptious and the Potts family live, and they land in the village square, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang once again turned into a car. So that's the take on this book. As I say, it is very different. It is probably more for the kids than for the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang die-hard story fans. It is nice and brightly colourful pictures in it. big writing text, and a short story. It's not a huge, long story, it's a short story, but very good for the young, I think. And to say the illustrations are great. It's just a slightly different take on the story. So if you love the original story and you don't want to see it change, this book is not for you. If you think, yes, it is another nice little story, get the kids involved before we actually introduce them to the full movie, this book will be for you. So, how well did this book do back in 1968? Well, 1968, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, a movie had just hit the screens, and it was a massive, massive success. So there was a lot of hype about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and obviously a lot of manufacturers got on the bandwagon. Collins got on the bandwagon and produced some, they produced a few different books in actual fact, all on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And this one is the Meet Chitty Chitty Bang Bang book. So yes, it would have been fairly good sales. Obviously the books were mass produced, and they were in every bookstore up and down the country at that point, and all over the world in actual fact. You can see on the bottom of the index page that they were produced in Canada, in the US, and in the UK. So yeah, produced. So a lot of these books were produced. They were mass produced, mass sold, and I think they were really geared for the younger children rather than the full storybook or the TV tie-in book, which was more for the older person. So now let's fast forward 56 years to 2024. Do these particular books come up very often for sale on the platforms? Not really, not this one in particular. As I say, I think it was just geared for the younger audience. So as a result, you just don't see this one come up very often. They do come up, don't get me wrong, they do appear on the platforms, but not as often as you would have expected from a mass-produced series of books as these were. But hey-ho, you know, they probably haven't survived the test of time. It is, as I say, it's not the full story that we all know and love. It is a slightly different take, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they haven't survived the test of time, because as soon as everybody gets to see the movie and read the full story, they realise this story is not quite right. But maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But yeah, they do pop up on the platforms from time to time, but not as often as the other Chitty Chitty Bang Bang annuals and adventure books and TV tie-in books or movie tie-in books. Or alternatively, as you know, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few copies of these, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage TV tie-in or movie tie-in memorabilia. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every single item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely sure that this is something you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you like to own again to help you recuperate those long-lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful old annual with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.